In. Hopefully we're starting this. This is a little challenging first. Hey, there
Hey,
it is.
Jess.
Tommy Doherty.
How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. Hanging in there, buddy.
This is awesome, man. First time doing this. I think it's pretty cool.
I know, first time for me.
Yeah, right. Me too. Me too. I've seen a few people doing it. I thought it'd be pretty cool. And since we've known each other for a pretty long time, I thought it'd be kind of cool for us to do it. So.
Yep, almost 20 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So you're at Woodland Country Club in Newton, Massachusetts. Woodland. Oh, excuse me, Woodland Golf Club. Tell me a little bit about so tell me a little bit about your background and how you came to Woodland and the history of Woodland, because it's really cool.
So the history of Woodland is pretty cool. The logo is 3 stars with the 1896, which we're the only club in the world to have 3 U.S. Amateur champions out of Woodland Golf Club. So it's at 1896. 3 stars and 3 U.S. amateurs, which is no other club has that in the world. So it's pretty cool. A lot of history here. Francis Wilmette, home club Francis Wilmette. A lot of history at the club.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And you have a phenomenal membership there.
Phenomenal membership.
Yeah, I was up there a few years ago. The golf course is awesome. Just great people, beautiful clubhouse. The history there is fantastic, and the story with Francis we met is pretty cool.
The history of the golf course, you won't find any better. That's
yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit of, I mean, we're both shut down right now. I'm in South Florida, you're in Boston. And so tell me a little bit about what you've been doing and, how you're staying busy at the club.
Well, right now, as you can see, I'm doing a little Trackman in the pro shop with the net here.
Nice.
Trying to stay in communication with the members by sending out video lessons as you are with all your followers. I know you have a huge following at teaching. Trying to send out little tips to people. They can email the pro shop. We can take a critique their video they send in. So trying to just keep communication and be helpful to the members as much as we can.
No, that's awesome. That's all you can do right now. I mean, there's nothing, there's pretty much nothing else you can do being shut down, and Boston has had Massachusetts has been shut down, obviously, no golf. And
yeah, we haven't spiked yet. Hopefully not.
Right.
Like New York or the other states, but I think we're 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, mortality and cases, which hopefully doesn't increase at all. So.
Yeah. So tell me, you've been at Woodland now for 20 years.
Almost 20. I'm not that old.
Wow.
Almost 20 years. About a little over 18.
Yeah. We met 20 years ago. So it's crazy. But before I had all this gray hair.
Nice.
So,
full head of hair though. Not as good as mine, but it's pretty
No,
good.
Definitely. And also, I mean, you're obviously a Boston fan, being a huge Patriots fan, and unfortunately, you had a little Tom Brady leaving, so that's got to be a little bit of a downer. But you guys had
in Boston, yep.
Yeah,
Didn't very help out with this crisis going on.
No. So tell me, so that's really cool. You've got an awesome setup in your golf shop there at Woodland with Trackman. Tell me a little bit how you use Trackman and technology in your golf lessons, because Tommy is one of the, for everybody listening, Tommy is one of the most sought after teaching professionals in the Boston area. He gets people coming to him from all the different clubs in the area, and he's an excellent instructor and a great player. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about how you use Trackman during your lessons, because technology is always a big something in the golf industry. So go ahead.
Well, thank you, buddy. First of all, you're a great teacher as well. And I've learned you learn stuff from every golf pro you work with, every golf pro that you take lessons from. I know we took lessons from Martin Hall, and I learned a lot from you too. But what I do with the Trackman, basically all my club fittings go through Trackman now.
Okay.
We don't sell any clubs off the rack here, which no one should buy clubs off the rack, because everyone should be custom fit. I mean, most people are standard in certain aspects, but you should always be custom fit. So, the Trackman's probably 80% utilized in club fittings, because that's we do several club fittings. We're one of Callaway's biggest golf professional accounts in New England.
Wow.
Doing over $100,000 in Callaway alone last year. So we do a lot of fittings, a lot of demo days. But with lessons, there's so many things you can do with it. I did a lot of indoor teaching lessons in the winter this year. And I kind of dived into it more and more than I have. And it's just, the capabilities are great. You can kind of bog down the numbers sometimes, but things I look for, is obviously smash factor, improving club head speed, which is improving ball speed, increasing ball speed,
Right.
chase a better distance, and you know, aspects like that. But there's so many things you can do with it. Trackman video, you can use putting. A lot of people don't use for putting, use for putting. Several things you can do with it. It's just a great piece of equipment.
So what are the couple, I mean, I think there's like 24, 26 numbers that you can get from Trackman.
Yes.
What are the, if you break down like the 2 or 3 most important numbers you look at when you're teaching a golf lesson or club fitting, what, what do you like to use?
So, I mean, a lot of people come looking for distance.
Right.
But as I've always said, there's 2 things that lead to distance. There's club head speed, which is important. There's also center face contact. You can swing as hard as you want, and if you don't hit the ball in the center face, it's not going to go anywhere or consistently. So, you know, I look for, there's no real way to judge contact. You can judge the face angle and the smash factor, which is determined by, you know, the ball speed and the club head speed. But I try to increase the smash factor, try to increase the ball, mainly ball speed and club head speed, and work on the face angle as well. You know, if you're coming in, some people come in 15 degrees, you know, shut, or, you know, 5 degrees open, you want to fix that face angle. So that's going to do some better, that's going to, you know, have better contact and result in better consistency and better distance.
Well, that's
The main
cool.
numbers I focus on are ball speed, club head speed, smash factor, and face angle.
Okay. Do you look at a little path too, maybe like
I
somebody
do
coming out and
path
across?
as well.
Yeah.
Path as well.
Okay.
There's so many numbers. Sometimes you can get bogged down in the numbers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it depends on the golfer. If you have an advanced golfer, you know, if you have a 0 to 8 handicap golfer, you can focus a lot more on, you know, angle and path.
Right.
If you have a beginner golfer, you kind of focus on other aspects of the swing.
Yeah. One of the numbers I find really cool, and both Flight Scope and TrackMan have this, is the low point where the club meets the ground. And I see so many people. You know, I don't use a TrackMan in my lessons, but I use a spray. I spray foot spray on the ground and see where people bottom out. So, what is that a number you look at as well?
I do. I mean, like I said, you can get bogged down on the numbers, but the number I look. It depends on the golfer. Every golfer is unique. Every swing is unique.
Right.
So, you know, it depends on the golfer. But there's so many different things you can use, so many different ways you can use TrackMan now. It's I think it's one of the greatest tools, you know, technology-wise we've had in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no,
every tour pro on tour now has a TrackMan with them on the range now.
Right. That's it's something that I've always been a ball flight guy. I do certain things. I don't have a TrackMan and I don't use a flight scope, but I think more and more I look at it, it's worth the investment. It's a little expensive being an independent golf pro, but
no,
the
price tag's over 30 grand, so it's definitely not cheap. But I mean, and I wouldn't rely solely on TrackMan. I use TrackMan for some lessons, you know, but it's like video. You don't want to use video and TrackMan for your lesson because that won't help your student out as well. I mean, basically when you start a student, you want to work on the fundamentals, you know, setup, posture, grip, and, you know, this really doesn't help in those aspects. So that's really not going to help you get started. But, you know, eventually as you progress, use different tools. It's good to use this. And I know you use a lot of video lessons and video software, which helps out a lot too.
Yeah. Video is, I think you have to use video in golf lessons because there's a lot of things you can't pick up, you know, with your own eye. But on the other hand, you know, you're also, you know, you're listening for contact and you're watching ball flight and you're seeing the changes in distance. And so it's something that I think can really, you know, either using, you know, TrackMan's great for also kind of measuring your students as well. So I think that's kind of cool. So Tommy, you do a lot of, you know, knowing you for a long time, you love working with junior golfers. So tell us,
one of the biggest programs in New England.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the program at Woodland and how you built it and how you approached coaching junior golfers.
Well, I started with this about 15 years ago. We had a small program. There's many volunteers, you know, members that volunteer their time to help out teach the kids. As progressed, we grew the junior golf program from 20 kids to over 100.
Okay.
Right now, we have some of the best golfers in the state, some of the best young golfers, which is pretty cool that I've had over the last, you know, I am older as you admit, the last 18 years. I've seen them grow up, become great golfers and great players.
Right.
One thing we did is one thing is course access. The club here is very beneficial to course access that the juniors have. If you don't want them to have course access, then the program really isn't going to happen. They need range time. They need course access is very, very important. We're fortunate we have our own private lesson tee. we do several junior golf clinics and junior golf up there. So, that helps that they have their own section, which helps, really take that apart from the range. So the range isn't full of juniors. But the main thing I think is course access and just promoting the program, which this membership does very well.
Yeah, I mean, and then you work tirelessly. I mean, you don't, you're pretty humble about it, but I know for a fact that you work a lot of hours and you spend a lot of time helping the juniors, not only being a terrific golf instructor, but also being a mentor and a friend. And that's something that you are to me as well. And I've learned a lot from you. And so, yeah, but I would also say that, these kids are really lucky to have someone like yourself there, who's, we're all kids in a way. So it's kind of fun to help them and watch them grow. And I think, like you said, though, the coolest thing that I've seen is myself as well, starting in this industry 20 years ago or so and watching the juniors, grow up and go to college and take golf with them. And that you've had a small part in their game. So.
No, it's awesome. I've had some of these juniors since 4 or 5 years old. And now, the young adults, they're in their early 20s and some of their 16, 17, some of the best players in the state, which is, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so tell me a little bit about the instruction part with junior golfers. What do you focus on, during the lessons with them, and how do you get them to, get excited about golf and continue on?
So the main thing, as you know, is keeping it fun.
Right.
We have junior golfers starting from 5 to 17. So if you're up there with, 12 5-year-olds, you just can't sit there in the range, beat balls, and give them instruction on the grip and the swing. Right. You have to do, when you start out, you have to make everything fun. As you know, several games, incorporate different games into it, incorporate different teaching techniques into it, different training aids. We do our junior golf clinics, some of the most popular around, and we do 4 hours of 4-day instruction. What we do is we do an hour of instruction, we do a bunch of games, and we focus on all the aspects of the golf. So we, have putting games. We play, horse with, certain things. We play golf, baseball. We play all these several games to get the kids into it to start. And sometimes they don't even know they're practicing. They're having so much fun. They don't know they're practicing and getting better. But just doing that, and we have a nice lunch. We usually like pizza or something fun for the kids. Then we play some more games, practice, and then we hit the course with the kids, which is awesome. Because we get to, a lot of it's riding in the car. We have the big bus the kids like to ride on. And like to stop at the 4th hole with the snack shack. But they're also playing, 9 holes a day with instruction on the course, which is vital. It's a great opportunity for them to get introduced to the game.
Yeah, I totally agree with both everything you said right there. Keeping it fun, playing games with the juniors, and then getting them on the golf course. Because kind of going back how I learned. I mean, that was, in the junior camps, we used to do a lot of chipping and putting. And then we would go do some full swing, but we definitely get on the golf course every time. And that's what really kind of pushed me to golf. And that's how I learned how to play. But so being on the golf course, Tommy, what do you do? Like, how do you coach them? Cause you become their coach. It's not just your teacher, instructor. Sure. You become their coach and their friend and their mentor. So tell me about when you get them on the golf course, what are you doing with them? Like, how are you helping them and working with them?
So again, the main thing is, is making fun. So we have some golfers at a young age that are very good golfers. They can break 80 already, which is tremendous at, 9, 10 years old. We also have golfers who are beginners. So we kind of separate them into groups. I'm fortunate to have a great staff of, as I said, I'm older. It gets tougher, not tougher and tougher to relate, but when you have young golfers that are, college golfers and high school golfers help teach the kids and go with them, it makes it a lot, more fun for them. But we separate into groups by, kind of ability, and then you run different tournaments, different formats. Obviously, if, beginners, we take out 4 or 5 juniors and they play a scramble and they alternate shot. We, the golfers that work for the employees that work for me, they'll hit a couple shots for them, make it fun. The more advanced golfers will go out there and we'll run a tournament for them, do match play tournament or do a point system. And we actually also incorporated the Opt 360 this year into the golf program as well. Op 36, excuse me.
Oh yeah, Operation 36. So yes. That's an awesome program. I mean,
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you got even more. Yeah, you'll find, and especially the numbers of juniors you have in your program, that will be awesome for it. I got a question from gentleman, I think, Horse Graph. He said, "What is the best age to start golfing?"
As soon as I can hold a club.
Yeah,
my son's a year old this week. I'm gonna start as soon as I can put a club in his hand. I already have actually. As soon as I can put a
yeah,
club in his hand, the better. And the main thing is, it's not about instruction until they're
right.
5, 6, 7 years old. Just have them hit hard. I tell the kids just swing hard.
Yeah,
Maybe help with balance and swing hard. Because
right.
that's where it all stems from. So the sooner the better. 4 or 5 years old is not too young to start.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree
Swing
too.
hard. That's very important. Swing hard. Finish.
What do you think about swing hard and balance, right?
Balance and
Swing
finish.
hard and finish it, right?
If you look at some of these young juniors, they have the best finishes you'll see.
Oh, yeah.
You just want to keep them in balance and spinning around. That balance and swing hard and finish. That's my number one tip.
Yeah, so that's a great question because I coach a lot of juniors too, and get them out there 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old. They don't have the strength, and what happens is they swing and they kind of fall off balance.
Mm-hmm.
What's a great thing that you like to tell the kids how they can finish their swing and finish on balance?
Well, a couple things I like to do is, like you'll almost spray paint lines where their feet will go.
Yeah.
And you also can put little tees around their feet, or we actually have teaching aids, blocks that go around, little balance boards that kids go on to keep them balanced. So a lot of times you'll see them do like a full merry-go-round and they'll fall on their butt afterwards. They'll do a full spin and, to swing hard. They'll have a great finish, but they'll kind of lose their balance and spin and almost fall down. Yeah. So the main thing is when they start doing that, I make them put their feet together and swing as slow as they can so they don't lose their balance.
Yeah. I see, yeah, definitely. Yeah, something that I see a lot when I'm teaching is I'll see parents bring their kids out, and sometimes the kids don't want to really listen to the parents, teach them or hold them or. So what is a good solution for parents who want to get their kids into junior golf but don't want to become overbearing and kind of like keep it fun for them? So what is your suggestion for the parents on that one?
Number one thing, like you said, is keep it fun.
Yeah.
Number two is instruct them as you can. If you want to help them out with, the basics, that's fine. But we tell our parents, as soon as they coach at a lesson tee, you have to leave. I mean, number one, the kids, juniors get distracted. Parents naturally, as we all do, want to help out. If you want to get your, juniors prior lessons, the best thing parents can do is drop the kids off and pick them up when you're done. Because when parents get involved, it's different. First of all, it's different. There's kids there. Kids get shy. Kids are trying to impress their parents. Parents trying to help their kids.
Right.
And if you don't know more, if you're not a golf pro, you're not a golf pro. You can be a good player and definitely give some good tips, but you want to, what the golf pro teach the juniors for sure.
Yeah, and coaching goes along those lines where you're not really, it's more than just, technical grip, stance, posture. When you're teaching a golf lesson or a junior golfer who's, 6, 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, you have to stay so positive. And a lot of times they're just, the self-esteem and shyness, is just not there. So you have to become almost their cheerleader a little bit and keep it positive and keep it fun and keep smiling, which, I know you do an awesome job with. And just to tell everybody out there in Instagram land, I'm here with Tommy Doherty, who's a golf professional at Woodland
Golf
Club. Woodland Golf Club. I made the mistake. No. Woodland Golf Club because it's a golf club.
Big difference.
Yes, big difference. So Woodland Golf Club. He's been a golf pro for over 20 years, and we met actually a long time ago here in South Florida at Boca Lago, and we've been friends ever since. And so it's really awesome to see, Tom. Yeah, the good old days. It's great to see Tommy's, rise in the golf industry and being at a golf club like Woodland at Massachusetts takes their golf very seriously. So we know you do an awesome job for your head professional Teddy Griffin and the staff and the members there at Woodland. Tell me a little bit about. Sorry about the cars running through the back here, but usually do it in the backyard, but can't do it today because they're spraying back there. So, but tell me a little bit about you give a ton of lessons there during the season. I mean, I talked to you, you're there at 6 in the morning, leave at 7, 8 at night. And so you're doing both, tournament programs, merchandising, giving golf lessons, customer service with the members. But since we're talking golf, let's go, like, what's a common lesson that you give at Woodland? Is it, do most of the members there, I mean, I know there are a lot of good members, but is it slicing? Is it just making solid contact?
No, I'd say the number one thing I see, as you know,
Yeah.
I always tell the number one amateur miss is a slice.
Okay.
And it's an over the top move slice.
Okay.
Have you seen thousands of times?
So the club's kind of coming over the top this way.
Throw them from the, if you're right hand, throw them from the right hand from the top.
Yeah.
And cutting across the ball, which leads to that, left to right ball flight.
What do you think?
Weight back on your left side.
Okay, so
Right
tell me,
side,
so tell me a little bit about, like, where would you start first with a lesson if you saw them, they came to you? Can you hear me, by the way?
I can.
Okay, cool. Tell me a little bit about where you would start with a lesson, that if somebody was slicing, where would you look first?
So the first thing I got to do is just think of yourself as going to your doctor's office.
Okay.
Your doctor goes to you and wants your information. If you're sick, what's been going on?
Right.
So the first thing I say to students, I try to get to know, if I'm not familiar, what's your handicap? What are your number one misses?
Right.
And what do we want to work on today? So we start with that, so we know we want to start working on. If someone hooks the ball, you have to, you already have an idea of some things that you could change. If you're slicing the ball, you have to, target. But I always check the grip and stance because that's the most important thing. I think for me, as that we're good players, 99% of the time that anything's wrong with my golf swing, it's a slight set of adjustment, even for us. So I start with that. Grip's very important. If you don't have a bad grip, like Nicholas said, if you have bad grip and bad setup, you never have a good swing.
Right.
So we start with that, and then watch them hit balls, getting warmed up a little bit to loosen up. 5 minutes or so, hit some wedges. Never, you never want to start with the driver or a 5-iron, a 3-iron to start hitting balls. You start with a couple of wedges, loosen it up. Then we go to our 7-iron, which I like to go to next, and then is when we kind of start diagnosing the problem. So if they're coming over the top, the first thing I look at is the backswing. As you know, the takeaway in the backswing. So that sets up the whole back. The takeaway sets up the whole backswing. So if most amateur golfers see grab it, take it away with their hands, and they have that wrist break right off the takeaway.
So they kind of twist the club inside a little bit too soon.
Exactly. It's real. Most people that slice the ball, it's real steep. So they just pick it right up. There's no shoulder turn. There's no rotation.
Right.
Yeah. So you just swing your arms. Your weight's never going back to the right side. There's no rotation. There's no power there. It's going to promote that over the top steep swing.
Sure. So basically, you definitely look at the grip. I do the same thing. You see so many people when they come to the lesson tee that their grip is way up in their palm. I think they wear out that pad mark. So that's number one. I always see that. I usually see a grip, if you can see it kind of like this, where I see a lot of the grip end of the club when I'm looking, face on. So that's something that I look at as well.
Sure.
And then, of course, the club face. The club face being open, square, closed at the top, path, of course, So, no, those are great tips. Is there one drill you like to use to get somebody to, stop slicing and start drawing the ball?
So a couple of things I like to do. When people especially slice the ball, I like to work a rotation. So, on the downswing, the people that some lessons I'll have people consistently slice the ball. I'll try to make them almost hook the ball for a little while.
Right.
Kind of pull it to left field using their upper body. That way their arms are getting ahead of their upper body on the downswing. So a good drill I like to use is kind of aim a little bit right, almost a little closed.
Okay.
We work on the backswing a little bit, but we also work on, that we can kind of shallow out the club from the top and let the hips and upper body unwind, get ahead of the arms. So if you can kind of work on trying to aiming, closed at right and pulling the ball to left field. Yeah. If you do it with your rotation, you can really start. People are amazed how far they hit it, getting rid of that high right ball flight and how they're to turn the ball over and get rid of that slice. So that's a good drill I like to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Usually with a slicer, you want to get them to hit the ball to the left. no matter what you have to do to get them to hit the
Exactly.
ball to the left, because then they're like, oh my God, I've never seen the ball go there. And then you're their hero. And,
Exactly.
you know, and then from there, they trust you, and then you can keep working on, you know, like, I mean, I always say exaggeration is key. I mean, at the driving range at Deer Creek, there are trees on the left side of the driving range. I'm like, let's hook it into those trees. Let's get that
Exactly.
ball
That's the
curving
same thing.
left. And, you know, even if it starts left and goes left, I mean, that's fine for somebody who slices. You know, you can always tweak it out from there. You know, I know your members love taking golf lessons with you. And I know, you know, you have a great personality and you're friends with a lot of
Thank you.
them. And, you know, you're, you know, most of all, you've built amazing relationships with, you know, everyone there. I mean, the staff, the GM, the head pro, I mean, the membership, you know, the guests. You know, I mean, I coach a few people that you know as well, and come up and back, and we always talk about you.
Sure.
So, you know, we always have great stories, but, you know, that's something that I think is super important. And as golf professionals, you know, you know, I think gets overlooked. You know, a lot of times golf pros, you know, get caught behind the computer and forget about the one-on-one, you know, and the relationships that you build.
No, I agree totally, 100%.
And so, so what, you know, there's a lot of young pros watching today, and you know, they're just getting into the business. And what would your advice be to the younger golf professionals just coming up? I mean, it's not the easiest profession to stick with. Your weekends, long hours, you're working on holidays. You know, so what would be the one thing that you would suggest to new and upcoming golf professionals?
I would say, number one, you have to enjoy what you're doing. Like you said, you are here. You do put a lot of time in, and you will put a lot of time in for years, as we both did for years.
Right.
You know, to get to where we are. You have to love what you're doing, because you're here a lot, and you also have to understand that, you know, if you're here the weekends, or you miss a lot of, you know, holidays, vacations, that's just part of the job. Some people, once, you know, they get into this a couple of years, they get a little burnt out, and, you know, they miss certain things. They want the summer vacations, and you know, it's unfortunately, and, you know, in my area, we don't have that. But if you love what you do, you sacrifice that. And you know, like myself, I get a lot of time off in the winter that I can play tournaments and travel.
Right.
So you have to look at the benefits as well. And you're doing something you love. I would say just put your time in, be like a sponge, soak up. So you can always learn. I'm still learning. You're still learning. You know, like we said, we've taken lessons from some of the greatest teachers. You know, we've taken lessons from always, you know, if you can get something for another golf pro, get something for someone else in the industry, be like a sponge, you know, and work hard, number one thing, and enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal advice for the young pros out there coming up. You know, you got to love what you do. I mean, it's a passion. You gotta love people. You gotta be patient. It's something that I struggled with for a long time, just being patient. And so once you master patience, I think the golf industry just opens up for you. There's so many opportunities. There's so many avenues for young professionals. And if they understand, you know, how, you know, pick the right country club you want to work for, or the right golf club you want to work for.
Exactly. That's great advice.
And just, you know, make sure your personality blends, you know, with the membership as well. You know, and what the golfers are looking, or what the head professional is looking for. Because you're, as an assistant pro, as a new pro, your main goal is to support the head professional or director of golf. That's your number one job, I think, you know, is to, you know, keep them, you know, do whatever you can to support them. And I know you've done that with your head golf professional, and that's why you've been able to, you know, you've been able to stay and thrive at Woodland for so long. But you know, plus learning. I mean, you said it. I mean, it's a never-ending learning process that I've found, you know, for myself. And I listen to the greatest teachers. I mean, the greatest golf professionals, and they never stop learning. They're always investigating, asking questions, taking seminars, and learning. And I know you do the same. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when I was young, I was a very good player. I mean, I still try to keep the game in shape, but
Yeah.
just because you're, for the younger golfer, just because you're a great player in college or a great player, in the mini tours and get into the business doesn't exactly mean you know the swing. As you know, you've got some of the best teachers out there, and they're not the best players, but their knowledge of the swing is significant. I think being the advantage of being a good player and then learning, as we all did years and years ago, the aspects of the swing and how to teach a swing, how to relate to your students is huge.
Absolutely. I mean, I see these guys. I follow a lot of the Facebook groups, and I love Martin Hall and Chuck Cook, and these guys are always these guys are always learning. I love going down and working with Andy Plummer, Stack and Tilt. Learning from him and just the amount of knowledge that's out there and the amount of help. And that's what's awesome about the golf industry as well, is that there's so many good people in the golf industry. I mean, not only the big name people, but people like yourself who have just, trained so many golf professionals who've started from, just coming out of the PGM program or becoming a PGA pro or just just assistant golf professional looking to make his way or her way through the industry. It's people like yourself who have made this golf business a lot of fun to be a part and keep it fun during the day. It's what it is. It's not,
exactly.
I always like to say it's not brain surgery. We're teaching golf. We're helping golfers. We're keeping them just having a good time. So
like anything, having fun, good personality and hard work go a long way.
Absolutely. Showing up every day and keeping a smile on your face no matter what's going on in your life, and just
and no one cares anyway.
No, exactly. And going above and beyond, for your membership or your golf or your student. And like you said, what you're doing is phenomenal. Staying in touch with your members and giving them tips and lessons and, over the, virtually. So, no, this has been phenomenal, Tommy. Thanks for joining me and doing this.
Thanks for having me, Jess.
Live stream. This is a lot of fun. We talk all the time. We're good friends. So, we'll talk again, and good luck with the season. And is there any idea of what you have when you're going to start?
So our Governor Baker has May 4th right now. We're mandatory shutdown to then. So I'm hoping that. Okay. I have a feeling it's going to last longer than that, but I'm hoping that in some aspects we'll be able to at least walk or get out there and on the golf course. Social distancing is pretty. On the golf course, you can stay 30, 40 yards apart. As long as you're not on the same card, I think we can start from there, hopefully, and open up soon. Because we're all itching. I know up here we're all itching to play, as I'm sure everyone is down there.
Yeah, plus the weather's getting nicer, and like you said, though, I mean, golf is the perfect social distancing game because if you walk and carry your own clubs or take a caddy, well, maybe carry your own clubs. You don't want to take
caddies might be struggling for a little while.
Or pull card or whatever. Take a Sunday bag. Take 4 or 5 clubs and walk 18 holes. I mean, it's great exercise. It's you're not going to touch. I mean, I know a lot of the times that a lot of the clubs that are open are flipping the holes upside down.
They are, or putting a plastic cup in there. It's considered hold if you hit the plastic cup around the hole, and just don't touch the flag stick. No rakes.
No
rakes, ball washers.
No ball washing.
But I think we'd all take that right now.
Yeah,
not the same, but we'd all take it right now.
Yeah, there are some clubs that are open across the country, so that's promising. I know hopefully this will end soon. We'll get back out there, and won't be the last time that we talk. But keep busy, keep doing what you're doing, Tommy. You're awesome. Love you, buddy, and we'll talk again soon. And thanks for joining me.
Thanks, buddy. Love you the best. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, you too.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.